My name is Andrew Diamond. I was born and raised in Plantation, Florida. My father is Jewish. He was born and raised in Connecticut, and my mom was raised Catholic from Long Island. Christmases were awesome. My father being Jewish and my mom being Catholic, we were celebrating Hanukkah and Christmas. We were getting, 8 or 9 gifts for Hanukkah, and then growing up with my mom, on her side, we'd get presents on Christmas morning. As I got older, I started to find myself veering towards a more negative crowd. My drug use started in 6th grade. I was at a party and somebody asked me if I wanted to smoke a joint. I said, sure, no problem. That eventually turned into weed, ecstasy, drinking, using any kind of pills that I could get my hands on. Eventually it just developed into other things. At the end of the night, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep because I'd be so high on ecstasy because it's an upper. And so I'd start taking Tylenol PM to fall asleep. I'd take 2. And then after a couple of months of taking 2 every single night, it wouldn't work. I'd have to take 4. Eventually I was abusing Tylenol PM because I realized that it would make you high. I had a couple of friends that had OD'd. A couple people overdosed and died. A couple of people had gotten into accidents from being high and had passed away. A couple of people had committed suicide. So you're so deep in that life that you don't realize the havoc that is going on around you until something happens. And you say, that could be me. So I woke up one morning, like I was saying, and told my mom I had just given up. I was done. She said, I am going to this church. It's called Potential Church. I remember the first time I came here, I sat down in the chair, and just the look of Potential Church, immediately I was like, all right, this is kind of different. There's no wooden pews. It looks like Aerosmith is about to perform. And I was like, okay, you got my attention before anything even happened. So I sat down, Pastor Troy came out, after worship, and the whole service was about forgiveness. The entire service, everything he said was about forgiveness. And I remember sitting there listening to every word that came out of his mouth. And granted, he wasn't looking at me, but it felt like the entire time he was looking at me. I had tunnel vision and nobody around me existed. And God spoke directly to my heart. And Pastor Troy said one thing that I remember today and I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Unforgiveness in any relationship will affect every relationship.
Unforgiveness in any relationship will affect every relationship you have. And at that moment, I forgave myself for everything that I did in my life. I had no idea the tragic outcomes of everything that I did in my life would lead me to where I was at that day. And I was carrying so much weight and so much burden in my life. And at that moment, all I could think about was, how can I make myself better? And I answered my own question. I can't make myself better. I can't do it. And at the end of the service, Pastor Troy said, come up to the front. I want to pray for you if you want to surrender your life to Jesus Christ. And I did. I went up to the front of the stage, closed my eyes, I raised my hand, and I surrendered my life to Christ. And ever since that day, I haven't looked back. From there, I just keep pushing, and I take him with me every day. And in every decision I make, I seek the Word of God, because the Bible is an instruction manual, like Pastor Troy has always told us. And I hold on to that.